Okay, the first thing I need you to do is to go ahead and click and drag your drivetrain over to the gray space. You should already see your robot brain. Go on and click the drivetrain to the gray space. Okay, now that you've done that, you should see a brain option here and a drivetrain option here. If you will look up here, those are your blocks. Your blocks are what you're going to use to program. Over here is what you can name your project. So go on and give your project a cool name. All right. Over here, you will see your programming blocks if you click on blocks. If you click back on robot, you'll be able to see the components you're programming. The blocks on the left-hand side are the instructions for the robot. They are grouped according to what they do, and you'll notice there are different colors for each group. All right. Using your mouse and making sure that drivetrain is highlighted, go on and write your first program. You're going to click the When Start option, obviously in the yellow category on the left side of your page under Control. Click on Control, find the When Start option. Click and drag the When Start option to the gray area of your program. And then go back and click on the blue output, and you'll find drive forward 25 millimeters. Now 25 millimeters is not very far and it's not going to be very impressive, but to get us started, that's what we're going to do. All right, when you have this done, I need for you to connect the black cord to the computer and then connect it to your robot. You should be able to go on and cut your robot on. Okay. You're also going to want to make sure that slot 1 is what you have highlighted. It's going to be on the top right side over here, okay? This button here is going to be very important because this is how we're going to download our program to our robot, okay? So whenever you're ready, go on, make sure slot 1 is highlighted, click OK right here, and then you're going to go and click on download. This is going to save your program to your robot. All right, you're going to see this option. It's going to say programming device. Don't unplug it yet. When it says programming OK, you can unplug your robot, and you ought to be able to see the really cool name you gave it earlier. When you hit the check mark on that really cool name that you gave it, it will run your program. Now, once again, 25 millimeters is not very many millimeters, so it's just going to kind of lurch, and then it's going to be over, okay? So do it a couple times, run your little lurchy program a couple of times, and then you will be able to write a better program. Okay, this says, so what happened? If everything went to plan, not much at all. Let's look at the program and see what we told the robot to do. All right, this is really cool because right here you can change this to inches, and in our American brains, inches make more sense. So click right here and you will just go on, select inches, and then if you want to make a quick program that goes 25 inches instead of 25 millimeters, go on and download it. Do you remember how to do that back up here? Click on download and you can run it again if you would like. All right, now the next thing I want you to do is I want for you to make your page look like this. It's going to turn your robot around. All right, so you're going to remember the angles you've been learning about in math. You're going to make sure that when start is there again. You can click and drag the other back to the left side of the screen to get rid of it, and then find turn left 90 degrees. All right. After you do that, plug your black cord back in, hit the download button, wait for it to tell you that updating was successful, unplug it, and run that program. It's just going to turn 90 degrees, okay? Now, I want for you to make your program look like this. It's going to drive forward 500 millimeters. It's going to turn 180 degrees, and then it's going to return to the start. Okay. We're going to skip past this one, and I want for you to write a program that's going to make your robot drive in a figure 8 shape, okay? Think through it. Think about how far you're going to need it to go. How many degrees do you need it to turn? Here are some examples of figure 8s. All of them don't look the same. This one is kind of a boxy one, and this is probably the easiest one to do. This one I have not been successful in doing yet. This is another kind of boxy one, and it kind of makes sense to me too. I just haven't been able to get the nice kind of 360 turn that you would need here to work. So go on and give that a try. Make it go in a figure 8. If you need to go into the hallway to test this, you're more than welcome to. Okay, now we've come to the end of our programming. Here is a good example on one side where you're being very specific right here and telling your robot exactly what you want it to do. And then on the other side, it's a little bit more ambiguous, but they do the same thing, but it's a bit more confusing over here. This is just more specific. I want for you to write a very specific program for your robot. Do you want your teammate to stand somewhere and your robot to make a few victory laps around your teammate? Do you want it to drive through your legs and turn around and come back through your legs? Do you want it to drive around a garbage can? I don't know what you want to do, but be creative this time. Write a really cool program to make it do what you want it to do, okay? I hope you've had fun. I hope you've learned something about programming. Take your time, do a great job, learn, mess with it. You can't mess these up. All right, bye.